Center will be Glen Tobiason with InnoWaCon, and we're well ahead of schedule, so please save a lot of questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Glen Tobiason from InnoWaCon, Innovative Waste Conversion Technologies. May I see a show of hands? Who's from a municipality, city, county? Not too many, but it's important. This will be for you. I like to talk about waste, low-cost recycling rates, high contamination rates, no problem, 100% recycling, zero cost. That's getting interesting. I like to talk trash. I like to talk waste and really recycling it in a very new but proven disruptive way. It should be quite interesting. Forward is great. Good. What we're talking about is carburetor regenesis process. I am affiliated with a company in Naples, Florida called Carburetora. That's where they're situated. And just looking back what we have in the US and in the world, every minute of every day, our guys have calculated out that we're throwing away around over $7 million worth of resources. Waste is a resource, don't forget it. There are a lot of materials in there. Some you can make into fuel, some you can make into other things. We're throwing away $7 million worth of value every minute of every day. That's pretty damn bad. What we're doing right now, you've seen this a number of times today, we have the linear economy. You take it out of the ground, you get raw materials, you refine it, you manufacture something out of it, you use it, and throw it away, very often landing in a landfill. There have been some very interesting ways shown today, what you can do otherwise with some waste, clothing recycling, like that is very important to do so, but a lot still lands in a landfill. We're throwing the resource waste away. End of the economic chain, a lot of value gone. What we'd like to do is break this end chain and bring it out into the end of use after that, into carburetor regenesis process, which we're closing the circularity loop and bringing back into as raw materials back into the manufacturing. So it is recycling to 100%. So your municipalities and cities, they can now say, we're not making the 25 or 30% normally that we hear, or 40% or some other place with higher, that's marginal, but we can get it to 100% recycling. What we do, we have the Carburetora Zero Fill service. We've introduced it into the global waste industry. It is a proven and patented technology, about 40+ patents that we have access to, and it closes this broken loop and brings it 100% circularity into the circular supply chain. It is not a waste management, I'm not talking about the company WM, but it's not a waste management or recycling industry. We are really from the manufacturing of materials industry. It's a different view of this. We are in the circularity industry. We supercharge the waste management with circularity. It's a little bit different. We'll go into that shortly. We have, with this technology that we use in the carburetor process, we have 1.753 million operating hours, production process hours with this technology, many different applications in the Fortune 1000 companies, 25 commercial plants that have been installed across the food, military, aerospace, mining, and nuclear industries, proving this technology. And at the end, we're setting up the Carburetora Zero Fill service, is launched to selected clients starting in 2022. We are front-end engineering for around 2,000 ton per day MSW, Municipal Solid Waste Facility, in Chennai, India, one of 5. So they're going to be in Chennai, India, scaling up to 10,000 tons of processing waste per day, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365, no stop. This can work. That's a hell of a lot of waste. Under development, we have a 500 ton per day MSW, MLW, municipal liquid waste demo facility. It will be in Colorado, where we are also setting up a production facility on a contract manufacturing to produce these units in Colorado. And also another facility in Connecticut for MSW, MLW, tires, ash, and other things. We can take that in there. And there are 50 projects totaling 142,000 tons per day of capacity in various stages of service and development. Some are in Saskatchewan, Canada, Jefferson County, Alabama, Miami-Dade, Florida, around 6,000 tons a day. And that should be coming. We will have able to, in Miami-Dade, even process the sargassum, the seaweed that's coming across the Atlantic and going to inundate the beaches that our people want to go swimming at. And the sargassum is quite smelly, quite toxic actually for us when it gets on the beaches. And they're not allowed to bring it into the back swamp somewhere and just dump it. Rather, they have to process it in a certain way. And there's no good way to do it other than with a carburetor process. We have $10 billion ready for deployment of this process. It's available for use now that we can bring out and deploy this equipment. We are standing up a 700,000 square foot manufacturing facility in Colorado, as I mentioned before. What do we need now? What is this whole thing? This is essentially the crux of the whole carburetor process. You have the waste bubble on the left side. You see that it contains everything. All waste we can take in except radioactive waste and munitions, live munitions. Everything else is game. Your textiles can come in. Your municipal liquid waste, your wastewater treatment plant sludge, your ash from landfill or coal ash landfills, fresh ash from different things, from waste to energy plants, tires can be taken in as well. We will charge a regenesis fee of $75 a ton for a 30-year contract, which, as you can see in the chart on the right, once it's processed by our regenesis service facility, we can rebate this fee up to 100% annually back to the municipality that has brought us this waste. 100%. So what does it cost? Zero. We also set up a circularity fund for the community from our own profits that we will bring back to the community, to the citizens of such a community, to help them with environmental fund, environmental group there that wants to do something for their community. So it's not only carbon negative, this whole process, but brings back money to the community, costing it zero. That's zero is less than $10 landfill fee, at least with my math. We take it into this dashed box, and we bring it into our carburetor process facility, which we own, which we have built. We set up, own, operate, and maintain ourselves with an SPV, special purpose vehicle, to do so, in a contract with the municipality. We can start off at around 500 tons a day. We'd like to have that as a size, and we can go up to 10,000 tons per day, 24/7, 365. We bring it into this, and once it crosses this line, it's our waste, and we then produce products out of it. We break it down, all the waste, within 3.5 hours, not days, or many 2.5 to 3 weeks, in a facility, rather in 3.5 hours, down to its molecular components, informed from gases, liquids, and solids. Molecular components, back to the atoms. We create materials out of it, which we can bring back into the circular economy and create new materials, hence regenesis. Sounds a little bit spooky, those words, but it's regenerating or allowing you to make new materials out of the waste that has come there without having to sort. There's no pre-sorting done at all. We want a 30-year partnership to modernize the waste infrastructure that you have. What could that mean? Right now you will have at home how many different bins? You'll have the waste bin, you have the recycling bin, a paper bin, organics bin, something else. Maybe someone else can chime in and tell me what you have, but you have all those. We can take it all in one bin at home. That means good things for each citizen, each household. One bin, maybe 2 bins for your waste, all your waste, organics, all your old recycling. Now you don't have to take your yogurt thing, wash it out at home, and put it in there because you don't want that yogurt to have the MRF take it anymore. Okay? You don't need to do that. Put it all into one bin, we can take it away. It also reduces the amount of trucks on the road. Now, one of SWANA's goals is to get the waste industry off the 10 most dangerous jobs in the US, where it is right now. I think it's number 7. Correct me if I'm wrong. 5? That's gone up to 5 again. That's not good. That's not good. We've got to get it off. So if you reduce the number of trucks out on the road, then you have a safer workplace. Fewer people getting hit. I just saw the other day a video, the former head of SWANA, David Biederman, was sending it out, I think in Facebook or something like that. And it showed on the back of a truck, the little video camera looking down where the guys are putting the weight, dumping the cans and the bins into the truck. And he looks back and he sees a car barreling toward him. He jumps out of the way and the car goes right into the back underneath the truck, all the way up to the front window. He almost got squashed. And we've lost a few people this year, rest in peace. But we've lost a few people to deaths regarding the waste industry. Not good. So we can make it a safer place. Doing it this way, we're all the better off. We finance, own, operate the waste and offtake risk liability taken fully by Carburetora, requiring 0 public funds. The municipality does not pay for this. They do not have to buy the equipment. We supply the equipment. We supply the hundreds, millions of dollars worth of equipment into such a facility and take care of it and maintain it. We have that money in the background to do so. For example, for the Miami-Dade, if they decide to do this, which we don't understand the stalling right now, what's going on, we're able to invest $1.8 billion in equipment to take care of the 6,000 tons a day that they have, including the Sargassum. And they're stalling, and they wanted to spend, I believe, $65 million to look at a waste-to-energy facility, possibly, to do that. And now they're also thinking about taking their waste by rail up to Georgia for someone else's problem. That does not make sense. It costs more. It's going to cost the citizens more to keep on doing that, where we can offer it for nothing. That'll save a lot of money and do it closer, less transportation, do it right locally close by, because we also don't have any emissions whatsoever. There is no combustion involved in the Carburetora process. We'll have, if you decide to have one of these facilities set up by us, we can set it up for producing product like graphite, which we get out of it, within 12 to 16 months after contract signing. Not 10 years with permitting for air permits and things like that. You can locate it at a current landfill site, not on the landfill, at the landfill, where there's already the logistics and mostly the permitting already available for that. And at the same time, we can also mine the current landfill that you have. So you can get rid of this old legacy that is leaking out. Maybe the liner is breaking, or it's an unlined old landfill that is leaking into the groundwater with leachate, and which we all know is not the most safest material to have around. We can completely mine the landfill and bring it down and make it work for you. It eliminates the annual landfill costs. It costs you nothing to have it come into the Carburetora facility. We rebate up to 100% of the fees on an annual basis. There are temporary construction jobs when we're setting up such a plant. There are high-paying permanent jobs. The people working in such a facility, no, they don't have to be doctors and lawyers and really way up there and that sort of thing, but they have to be pretty smart people, because they're not just shoveling the waste into a hole somewhere. Rather, they have to know what this process is and working it. And through that, their high pay, they are this induced, indirect and induced jobs being set up for the area. Sustainability benefits: zero waste and zero emission circular process. No waste comes off of this. Yes, if a large rock comes into the system, a large rock will come out. That could be put on the landfill if you still have one there. But consider that if that's the only thing that comes to landfill now, maybe some of the C&D rubble, if there's the heavy stuff, the inert material in the C&D, that could still go to the landfill. But consider that the extension of your landfill life. Instead of I have only 10 years left, now maybe I have 30 or 40 or 50 years left on that landfill, because you're putting such a small amount in weight and in volume on that landfill now. Cleaner air and water, reduce pollution, no odors, no stink from it. This is all under negative pressure in the buildings. There are no emissions coming off the carburetor process. We reuse and remediate existing location. As I said before, a landfill, we can mine it and take it away and process this material in there as it is. Improve public health and environment, no emissions, nothing coming into the ground, nothing coming into the water system. We can take all of that and sell all the product coming off. It's 100% diversion from landfill and 100% recycling. That might bother some of the MRFs out there, because they don't have to get this material anymore. Okay? Maybe we can take over these people and have them work in such a carburetor facility as well. The commitment to you is zero waste, 100% diversion from landfill, 100% recycling, zero capex. You don't bring the money, we do, and zero emissions. We will also get the credits back to you, and all the different kinds of credits, like the carbon credits, CORC, the renewable energy credits and different ones. We bring them back in form of the rebates as well back to the citizens, as well as setting up a circularity fund for groups in the community. But not for the municipality itself, for their coffee fund, rather to the people of the town, municipality, wherever. We have also Carburetura, or Gravitas Infinitum, the holding company, doing business as Carburetura, has won again in 2023 the World's Festival Innovation Awards, World's Top 50 Most Innovative Companies. We're very proud of that award. It's really very good. How do we do it? I don't know, this picture looks a little bit esoteric, but that's the way they do it. Waste regenesis is rematerializing the molecules trapped in the waste. We take them out, break the waste down to the molecules, then it'll be rematerialized into other materials. We get a gas out of it, a syngas, we get liquids, and we get solids out. We'll go into that in a minute. You get the 100% diversion, recycle 100% of all the waste. You do it with zero capital, our investment. You can have it with zero emissions, and you can achieve zero cost with it. And there's no single-use waste materials. Now, you've been told before straws or these bottles may be just single use and you throw them away. Well, there is a reuse for these. You can break those down and you get the molecules out and reuse those molecules to make new plastics, new virgin plastics out of it. You're not just stuck with a PE molecule there and a PP and whatever they are out there and finding those and sorting those. You get the individual atoms out there. We take any waste stream, unsorted MSW. We don't care about contamination in it, like in the contaminated recycling. It doesn't matter. We have the yogurt thing, as I said, if it's in there, or you heard before today about the Smucker's jar in the glass. It doesn't matter if that's in there. We can take it. Has all the things we need. Sewage plant sludge, municipal liquid waste, incinerator ash. We'd want to mix that with the waste, because ash itself doesn't create the fuels that we need to run this plant. This plant runs on the fuels that we make. We don't pull the energy that's needed from the grid. So it's energy self-dependent. Take settling pond sludge, hazardous waste, and really hundreds more. This is what a typical 100 ton per day MS module system would look like. Look in point number 1. This is the multi-phase microwave reactors to disintegrate materials into their various vapors and base solids, as well as liquids. 2, this is where the microwaves are produced in here from the microwave generators to work on the microwave reactors or converters. This is where the materials are condensed into and then brought out so they can be trucked away. Because remember here, with this is a mass, there's a mass balance. What comes in goes out. You can't lose mass. You can't defy that law of physics. What goes in, 1,000 tons goes in, 1,000 tons will come out. We take that away in form of graphite, graphene, and other products that we make out of it. And we monetize these. And 4, these are the tanks for the gaseous and liquid fuels collected for the energy generation and to sell. Yes, we can make the liquid fuels and turn them into SAF, very interesting, but it's a thing of economics. For example, you can, I think in Florida, you can take 1 ton of MSW and produce about $11 worth of electricity. It's not even worth trucking it around for that. With 1 ton of MSW, you can produce about $80 worth of SAF. Economics look a little bit better on that. From 1 ton of MSW, you can get around $1,000 to $1,500 worth of graphite. Hey, that's something we can monetize and make it work for us. And that's why we can offer to supply all this equipment, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of equipment, because we can monetize and pay for it. And in 5, zero emissions gas generator, gas turbine, but a turbine does have emissions, but doesn't go up a stack. It comes out and we break it down with a plasma arc. We break it down there such the oxygen gets used back in, and the carbons and the rest come out and go with the char at the bottom. So no emissions into the atmosphere. There's a very simple diagram. We won't go into all the details here because time is getting a little bit short, but I think we're doing well, but I'm not going to drive you till 5, don't worry. 1 ton of MSW coming in, and everything, as I said, coming out with the glass, metal, water, graphite, graphene, industrial gases coming out, is still 1 ton. We also take in the oxygen from the outside and use it in the gas turbines. And we produce all the energy we need for the whole process. Graphite we need for example, in the anode section of EV batteries. Every Tesla EV battery has around 200 pounds of graphite that's being used in it. And this graphite now comes from China. Nothing against China, but currently the geopolitical problems or challenges that we are all facing right now with this country, because they're also throttling the production or the mining of their graphite, where it's all coming from now, are causing a serious squeeze on the graphite supply in the world. We can make it out of our own waste and at no cost from here. And it's beautiful graphite for different uses. I'll show you that in a minute. Even graphene. Now, what is a girl's, or there's an old saying, a girl's best friend? Diamonds. From graphene, you can make diamonds. And you can layer this graphene. They're single atom thickness, hexagonal, correct me if I'm wrong, hexagonal matrices of carbons. You can stack them up and make a diamond out of it. So, very nicely, you can also make industrial diamonds with this. You can also add it to steel. Graphene itself is 200 times stronger than steel and 15 times more conductive than copper. It has incredible industrial uses. The glass that comes out is in form of silicates and glass pieces, but it's all molten down. The metals be taken and sold to scrap dealers, and the water, probably not used as potable water, but it's industrial class 1, 2, and 3, which the industry can use for many different things. We've certified that 1 ton of MSW produces 620 pounds of graphite, so around 32% is graphite that are in MSW. Depends on the mix too. You might get more if you just have tires, and we can take tires, shred those tires, and use them produce them or manufacture with the tires 24/7, 365, just with tires alone. The graphite that we get out is in different forms: EcoGraph Pure, Flex, Strong, and Med, where the different uses, you can see key applications. Where is that? Key applications here for battery anodes, fuel bipolar plates. For the graphite Pure, the Flex, a thermal interface material, thermal transfer material that's used for thermal transfer. Aerospace structures, auto racing components on the Strong, and Med, even for implants, prosthetics, medical devices, all from your waste. All clean enough and put together enough, this different graphites they can use in these applications. All of you are facing the PFAS, PFOS, and whatever these chemicals, thousands of different chemicals, let's just call them PFAS right now. These problems in your liquid waste, in your municipal solid waste, it's in the air, it's in your biosolids. In Maine, for example, they're not allowed to put biosolids, land apply them anymore since the middle of 2022, I believe. And that's a problem because of the PFAS and microplastics in there. This process, the Carbotura process, completely eliminates the PFAS molecule. It completely cuts the bond such you have carbons, fluorines, oxygen, and hydrogen out of it. The temperatures are more than 1200 degrees C, have that in the microwaves, and over the plasma arc they're getting around 3000, which your PFAS molecule is destroyed. That's certified. So you can take this material and completely eliminate the PFAS challenge that we're all facing now. Nothing else, as far as I know, can completely get rid of it. This is what a typical 2,000 ton per day deployment would look like. We'll have here, it's a little difficult to see, it's dark. There's a large membrane structure that'd be set up within 90 days after signing the contract, and we decide where to site it. Level the site, we can put a slab in there and this membrane structure over it. It's designed, it's used for NASA, it's used for airplanes, it's used for many different things. It's sound, it's Florida proof. Can be used in the north as well, in the snow. And we put all the microwave chambers in a vertical way in here, so the bales that we get, and we get the waste that come in shredded, baled, and wrapped and coated. You'll see a picture of it in a second. And we want those bales, and we put them in there that way. Why do we do bales instead of just loose stuff and throw it in? We want it clean. We want these bales to come to us, or when the waste comes to us directly, we bale it, we can store these bales and take them in and use the storage as a buffer and take them in and use them in all the microwave chambers, oops, back here, all the microwave chambers here as they're needed in there. So it's continuous use in those, and the buffer will go up and down in the storage. This is the way the bales look like, and you can also set this up at a transfer station. So if you have a Carbotura facility somewhere, let's say at a landfill, but in your area you have different transfer stations, maybe with different MRFs, and you don't want to use them, or they're getting old, they can't be used anymore, or it would cost too much to renovate them, you can now take them and put in a shredder. We will supply the shredder, baler, wrapper, and coder. We want to code it. I'll show you why in a minute. There's a QR code. We want to do that such that this can be done at the transfer station and then transport this flatbed container to the carburetor facility. It's not leaking out, there's no water coming out, there's no air getting in, nothing happens to it in the transport when it's being stored there, and put it in our storage to be then used in the carburetor facility. The coding is used because we want to know where this material comes from. So transfer station A and B, one has 1,000 tons a day, one has 2,000 tons a day. We want to know where that material comes from so that we can give the credits back to that community where this material came from in the appropriate amount and appropriate percentages. What are we doing? We would like to make a blanket, or we can make a blanket contract payment guarantee to the county, province, or state, or region with a master agreement such that it can be utilized by any sub-government. So let's say we talk to the state of Florida, just as an example. We can say, okay, we'll do a blanket agreement for the whole state, and you can have your counties come online or different municipalities come online under this contract and bring them into that and increase it. We won't have one facility, let's say in Tallahassee, but there'll be different facilities around the states where it makes sense, so you're not transporting waste all over the place. Name the municipalities that'll work in this service contract and they'll receive the rebates. And the communities can in turn name the hauler and the waste management companies to fall under the service contract. So we can still work with your current haulers that you might have now. If you do it yourself, we can work directly with the municipality or with the haulers, keep them in that contract. One deployment we're looking in Middle East country, in Saudi Arabia. We're going to invest $1.8 billion. Around a 5,000 ton a day initial capacity. We'll have 2,000 tons of daily waste, fresh waste coming in, and 3,000 tons a day for the stored waste that they have. They have a very large set of landfills there. We need 50 to 100 acres of land. In Saudi Arabia, that's not too difficult. In New York, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, that might be a little more difficult, but for around 2,000 tons a day, we need around 15 acres of land. Necessary permits are issued. Site to be special economic zone, that'll be in that country to set it up there. 12 to 16 months, we can start producing. If you have some local delays, we can't do anything about that. And we would like to have a service contract for 30 years and requires a contract guarantee. We want your trash, we have the cash. We want to have a flow control that you bring us the waste, 30-year contract. It can go down to 10-year. We will then charge $150 a ton, but you still get the 100% rebate at the end of the year. So it's a no-brainer. We would like to set up, when you're ready to talk, we can gladly do that right now. Mutual non-disclosure agreement, memorandum of understanding or a contract, how we want to get and work further together, and matching your integration. Not one size fits all. We want to know what kind of waste it is. We need a waste analysis. We'll work with you on that, siting and the whole thing. We'll do different contracts as needed, deployment plan and timeline, and the execution of the contracts. This is what it more or less, I don't know, it doesn't come very well on the screen. You see some of the microwave chambers here where we slip in the bales from the top. Thank you very much. And we can do the